Hi everybody, welcome to another weekly boost. I'm Nat, and yeah, let's just get right into it. I just want to apologize for my demeanor, as in real life, we don't always look 100% our best, and this channel is all about authenticity and just being yourself. So I just got over what I like to call a sleeper. You know how some people have benders where they drink for 3 days or like a weekend, I'm thinking in Spanish, seguido. Darn, what's that word? Anyways, you know the word. If you know the word, put it in the comments. Anyway, so I do that with sleep. My bipolar disorder just does that, where I sleep consecutively. That's what it is. Thank you, brain. Anyway, so I sleep like 3 days consecutively. And yeah, it happens. Sometimes it'll happen every week, sometimes every other week. I think for myself, maybe if other people also experience this, it's to avoid me going into a manic state. So it's kind of like my brain protecting myself, I think. That's just my personal theory. So if it feels kind of like symptoms of mania coming up, it'll be like, okay, you're gonna power down. So it goes like boo, and it powers down. And I sleep for like 2 or 3 days. But yeah, then I'm like super dehydrated. And anyways, so I'm coming out of that. But I was inspired to do the next episode, which is episode 2. So if you're here, thank you. And please share, like, and subscribe, do all that stuff, so that we can get more of like-minded people in the community. So today I want to talk about setting realistic short-term goals. If you see my gaze going down a little bit, it's just that I wrote some notes so that I can refer to them throughout the video. And any information that I provide here in this video, I will link the sources below, because like I said, I try to do research on the topics that I choose from reputable sources, so you can check out the information for yourself and verify that. So anyways, setting short-term realistic goals. For those who struggle with mental wellness, that can be overwhelming. I completely get it, completely understand. So there are some key principles and strategies that have been recommended from the research that I did, and that I also have tried myself, which are incorporated in the information. These principles are often centered around ensuring that goals are attainable, that they're motivating, that they're sensitive to everyone's emotional and cognitive state and circumstances at the time. Because we all know that some days we have better days and some days we're not doing that great. So it really depends. But I will say the number one rule in goal setting is we never say the F word. Or like, the F word, what's that? Failure. We never say the word failure. You'll understand why as we go through the information, but perhaps for those who have more experience with goal setting and are successful at it, they know why. You guys know why. We may use words like detour, adjustment, or just another goal for another day, but never failure. Okay? So one principle is the SMART goal framework. So S.M.A.R.T, SMART. So it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So specific. That means to have a clear and well-defined goal so that there's no vagueness, no ambiguity about what success to you will look like, as that's different for everybody. So for instance, say you plan to wash your car. To some, washing your car simply means going to the car wash, while for others, washing your car may be to literally hand wash it. Maybe to others, washing your car means to wash it on the outside and also vacuum it on the inside. And then for those who really love their cars, washing your car means to wash it, wax it, detail it, vacuum it on the inside, and also detail the inside as well. So you get what I mean, right? So every person will have their own clear, defined goal according to how they're feeling and also what they view their own specific goal is. Okay, how about M, measurable? Well, that means to have concrete indicators to track your process and gauge success. So for myself, I like making to-do lists. And actually, this has been proven to be good psychologically. Now, what do I mean by this? For those of us who perhaps like making lists, the thing is, try to make them as specific as possible. So, say for instance, you have to clean the bathroom, okay? So yeah, you could write clean the bathroom and then that could be it, right? But how do you make that more specific where you can break it down even more? So, okay, you have to perhaps clean the toilet. So that's one thing you could do. How about clean the sink, clean the counter, clean the tub, clean the shower, mop the floor, change out the towels. Some of you like to be more thorough. Some of you perhaps maybe have already done some previous tasks before, so you only need to do a little bit. But write all of these things down. Be as detailed as you are. And an interesting thing is, I would suggest maybe putting a circle or a little square in front of the tasks that you have to do. Because the thing is, when you finish a task, you get to tick it off. Now, what's so important about ticking off like a box or a circle? Well, when you do this, the brain actually releases dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter associated with feelings of pleasure, satisfaction, and motivation, essentially giving you a small reward for completing a task, which is why checking the items off a list can feel really satisfying, and it'll encourage you to continue to complete the rest of your tasks. So again, if you can see a way that you can break down things to like piecemeal, that's even better. So try to do that. Try and make a list of, say, a task that you have to do, and it'll also help you to not feel so overwhelmed. You're like, oh gosh, I have to clean the bathroom, I have to do this and this and this and this and this, because then that'll just like make you not want to do anything at all. And also you can add making a list to your to-do list, so that's something positive too. Okay, A for achievable. So goals should be challenging enough where you feel like you're giving yourself a nudge so that it motivates you to do just a bit more than you would usually do if you were feeling your worst, but not so much as if you were feeling your absolute best. So you want to avoid feeling, like I mentioned before, overwhelmed altogether, that our minds completely shut down and then we're demotivated to do anything. So there's a difference between a nudge and a push. So just imagine somebody behind you nudging you. You take a couple of like steps forward, right? But just a couple more than say you would if you were to take a regular step. But if somebody were to push you, like you completely lose your footing and you almost fall. So we don't want you to fall, right? We want you to still have a sense of manageability, right? Of your symptoms and how you're feeling and, taking into consideration your circumstances. So a nudge is a positive thing. A push, not so much. So just gauge it that way. So the next is relevant. So after you've determined what your overall goal is, try to stay close to the objective. Try not to veer off or get sidetracked as best as you can. I know this can be difficult for some of us whose minds tend to wander or where our attention span isn't necessarily the best at, concentrating on one certain thing. But an example that I was thinking of was perhaps you've invited, just a few family members over for a simple meal. Great nudge, by the way. And you've made just a shopping list of some essential grocery items because you're just going to put together a simple meal. It's not like you're going to overwhelm yourself with making a 5-star Michelin meal. So let's say you have like 10 items or less on your list. Your plan is just to be in the grocery store between 30 to 45 minutes. You don't want to be there any longer than that. But then when you get to the grocery store, it's a bit of a different story. We get stimulated, right? The halogen lights, like the brand new novelty items that are always at the front of the stores. You start looking at them and you're like, oh, this looks good. And oh, yeah, I would really enjoy that. And then as you start to peruse the aisles, then your brain starts firing and it's like, oh, I need laundry detergent. Oh, wait, I'm about to run out of toothpaste. Oh, yeah, and cereal. Like, I really need cereal, even though you know that you still have enough for the next 5 days. You don't need it right then and there. So you start piling items that are not on your list at all into your basket or into your cart. Myself, what I've done many a time is I'll go in and I'll get like the little basket, right? I'm like, okay, yeah, I have a little basket. And then my brain just starts going off, oh yeah, I need this and I need this. And then before I know it, like my basket is overflowing, that like things are just falling on the floor and it's just like a complete mess. And then everyone asks, why didn't you just get a cart? And it's just like, because I know I shouldn't have even like gotten these items to fill up this basket. Like I should have only walked out of the store with like 3 items max and I like came out with like 15, 20. So I know you're thinking, well, okay, I'm already at the store. It's going to save me another trip anyways. But don't view it like that. The store and those items that you are going to need in the future are going to be there. They are always going to be there. And if they're not there that day, they're going to get stocked up in a couple of days. So you realize that once you've piled up on all these items, you've checked out, you've spent like triple the amount of money that you planned to spend, and it's like 2 hours later. So you've spent like way more time than you had originally wanted to spend there in the first place. So now you're behind already on your timeline of like your food prep for when your family comes. And your family's like about to come in like an hour and a half, let's say. And like one of your recipes needs to be in the oven for half an hour. So now your anxiety is just like increasing. Like I can even feel it. I don't know if you guys can, but I'm like getting just like, nope, can't do it. But the thing is, as tempting as it may be to want to like now cancel the plans on your family and just be like, hey, I'm just not feeling that great. Like, I don't think it's going to work out. Because, you're like, it's only family. It's not like it's anybody else. It's not like it's people from work or whatever. Try not to do that, because that's going to be counterproductive. That's going to be like, that's going to set you back. That's going to be like a push in reverse. So we're only human. Like, these things happen to us. They even happen to people who don't have like mental health disorders or don't suffer with anxiety. But just remember, like, this isn't probably going to be it's probably not the first time that this has happened, and it's probably not going to be the last. So just give yourself some grace and just maybe take a little bit of time and just recognize, okay, where did it start to unravel? So maybe we can think, well, it started to kind of go sideways as soon as we started to deviate away from our to-do list, from our ingredients list. The moment that we started to eye this and eye that, and I now need this, or I remembered I need this now for the home, that's where it started to go wrong. So that's why it's so important to stay relevant when it comes to setting short-term goals, keeping in mind our overall goal, which in this case was having family over for dinner. Because when we don't, we can see how easily everything can just go willy-nilly. And then that's when the anxiety and those feelings of feeling overwhelmed can come about. So T for time bound. So short timelines have been known to prevent procrastination and ensure a sense of urgency without creating pressure. So, gosh, how many of us are procrastinators? Me. Total procrastinator. But something that has helped me is to create little gaps of time. For instance, I remember one time, usually when I'm in a depressive episode, it's really hard for me to keep things tidy, to stay on top of like cleaning tasks. So the spaces that I'm in, that I dwell in, just become tips. Things pile up, and it gets away from me. I'm sure many of you can relate. So I remember there was a pile of laundry in front of me, and I don't know what it was about that pile of laundry. It just, for some reason, just seemed to grow in my mind, and I was just so anxious. So I called a friend. I was texting a friend, and I was just like, I don't think I can fold this laundry. Like, it seemed to be getting bigger. Like, it seemed like I had more clothes that were just piling on from like weeks, and I just knew that I had to fold this pile of laundry. Like, it was getting just too much. Like, I couldn't function. Like, every time I walked around it, like, I was just like, it was too much. And it was sort of like in my eye line when I like watch TV. So every time I watch TV, it was like this pile of laundry was calling out to me, like, fold me, put me away. So my friend she told me, she's like, just do a little bit at a time. Do what you can. So at the time, because again, usually when I'm depressed, I usually binge a show that like I've watched for ages and ages. And for me, that show is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it's my absolute favorite. Hot take, I think it's funnier than The Office. Sorry, not sorry. But anyways, that'll be another conversation. You can comment about it if you want. But so I decided, okay, an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine is about like 20-something minutes. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to fold laundry for half an episode, so 10 minutes. I'm going to look at the timer. As soon as an episode starts, I'm going to fold. And then as soon as the 10-minute mark goes, I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to rest. And then as soon as another episode starts, I'm going to fold again. And I'm just folding. I'm not putting anything away. I'm just folding. And that's what I would do. And I told myself, I'm going to do this for 2 full episodes. And then I'm going to give myself a break. That was my goal, just to fold laundry for 2 full episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That was my short-term goal for the day. And I wasn't going to do more, and I wasn't going to do less. I was just going to stick to my goal. Editing me here. A point that I forgot to mention was, when you have set a small achievable goal, don't do more and don't do less. Even if you feel good and you're just like, oh man, yeah, okay, I've folded my 10 items, or I've like exceeded my goal in terms of time. I can do more. Don't do more. The reason I say this is because, sure, yeah, you can do it. I'm sure you're capable of doing it. But if you do and you overextend yourself, you're going to get burnt out. And then you're going to get so tired. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get exhausted and you're going to need a couple of days to recover. And then other things are going to pile up, or there are going to be things that you need to do but won't be able to because your mind is just not going to be able to do it, or physically you're not going to be able to do it because you just overdid it that one day. So just be consistent with your small short-term goals. You'll get there. The task is going to get done. That pile of laundry is eventually going to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Who cares if it takes a week or if it takes 2 weeks? The goal is to get it done, right? Is to fold the clothes and put them away. That is going to get done. You're getting it done. You're getting it done on your own time. Who cares what other people think? And it doesn't matter if other people can do it faster. You're not other people. You're you. You get to dictate when and how long it'll take you to do a task. Okay? So, just wanted to put that out there because sometimes, especially, those of us who are bipolar, we kind of can turn into the Tasmanian devil and we think, oh, great, yeah, I can do everything. And we whiz around and whirl around and we do everything, and then we are just beat. And then we're no use to anybody, not even ourselves. All right? Okay, love you guys. And I did it. So in essence, I folded clothes for around 20-something minutes, so almost half an hour. And I felt so good about myself that I was able to stick to that small time-bound goal because it gave me literally something to focus on, a finish line, almost like I could see the finish line. Because sometimes when we don't have an actual end in sight, that's where things get away from us, and that's where we get completely frazzled. So keep the timeline short. Do what works for you. If also the other way, if you want to do it according to the object itself, if you're okay, I'm just gonna fold red colored items, then just fold red colored items. If that works best for your mind, because everybody's mind is different. Or if you're gonna focus on, I'm just gonna fold 10 items, then just fold 10 items, but have something concrete, something that you can see, with an end goal, because that will really help you to accomplish your goal and also help sort of diminish that procrastination sensation. So hopefully that helps. So that's the end of SMART. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So that's your weekly boost. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you're still here with me, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next week. And make sure you tune into Reels, Shorts. I'm going to create a TikTok account for your, little bits of the micro boosts that are going to be coming out throughout the week. All right, take care. Be well, everybody. Bye.